there's this innateness of when I'm on, and I'm going to give you everything I can, because that's being a professional. That's doing my job. And my job is to do what I love and do it well, no matter what it is.
All right, well, let's get going. So, Damien Bredberg, welcome to Sauna Sessions with Shea, mate. Thanks for joining us. Well, we're not in the sauna today. We're actually, you're in a park in Logan.
It's a sauna for winter. It's 24 degrees.
It is, mate. Yeah. Mate, it's and look, I must admit that the hat suits you too, mate. Some people have a head for sauna beanies. I'm not one of them. My wife has. You know, my wife's one of those people. She just puts on any hat. She looks good. And it's like, I need to go to a tailor. I need a custom design for it to look good.
I don't believe that for a minute, mate.
Yeah. Now, mate, just to get going, and just to let people know a little bit about you, like to me, you're one of the, if not the best photographer I've ever seen. But you've also, like in Australia, around the world, you're doing fantastic work. But you also branched out. You're not only doing photography, you're doing videography, you're doing drone stuff, and that's how I kind of met you, was through the Drone Boys and doing some work for a couple of years ago there, and just got some amazing footage out of the drone you were shooting on. But mate, I just thought, just to get going, just to get the cogs moving, I've got 5 quick questions to ask you, and I'll just do it with everyone just to get everything, get the juices flowing. So question number 1, mate, when you're directing someone on set, are you an action and cut kind of guy, or are you a when you're ready kind of guy? How do you work as a director?
Oh, that comes down to the environment and the type of person. And sometimes you roll without them knowing, and you don't call action because you can just get absolute gold. And sometimes you call cut, but you haven't cut. So there's a time and a place for action. You're still and going. Cut, and there's a time for not calling those words, because you can just get absolute moments and nuggets. So, mate, I fall into both sides there.
There you go. Okay, so you're multifaceted. You improvise in the moment, but depending on the client, I suppose. Because a lot of people can be deer in the headlights, isn't it? So as soon as you call action, it's like, oh shit, I'm on. I've got to do something, and 100%. You can get, frozen. People just freeze up. Yeah. Okay, good response. I like that, mate. Question 2: what's the toughest time you've ever had on set with a client?
Toughest time. Look, I don't know about look. You've put me on the spot, but there was a famous athlete who is a world champion. I won't say her name, but she's world champion. Sprints 100 meters and jumps over these white things on a track. And she's Australian, and she's a world champion.
I'm trying to join the dots here, but yeah.
And I was told it came in cold. It was a studio shoot in Albion. And I can't remember the brands we were shooting for, but it was a high profile brand. She was the ambassador. And she was just cold and just not even a handshake, not just nothing. Like, let's just get this fucking shoot done and out. And the manager actually came up to me and said, look, she doesn't like these shoots. She hates them. She's not going to respond. She's not going to do well. Just FYI. So I kind of
do your best.
Yeah. And it started off awkward. It started off tough. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, what do I do? I kind of, while I was prepping gear and just getting stuff sorted, I was kind of just buying time to figure out what's my strategy here? So I kind of just went up to this person and I said, on the down low, I just went up to her and I said, hey, look, you don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Let's just fucking just get in, do it, and piss off and get it done as fast as we possibly can. What do you reckon?
So you kind of just,
and
you got real with it.
I lied. Yep. I lowered myself down to a level where we both wanted the same thing, right?
You used a line from a movie. You don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
Right? And dude, oh my God, boom. She was firing on all cylinders. She was amazing. She gave me everything I wanted to get from her. Yep. And she nailed it. And she was awesome. And we worked so well together. And after that, the manager actually came up to me and said, "Hey, just want to say thanks. That was the best shoot we've ever done in her career."
Wow.
I don't know what you did, but I just want to say thank you. I was like,
because that could go the other way too. Like, the ego could be so big that it's like, what do you mean I don't want to be here? Of course I want to, and then give it back to you. So you going up to do that, it could go both ways, couldn't it? But the fact that she embraced it and said, right, okay, let's do it is hats off to you for doing that. Mate, because if she doesn't speak, you don't get paid.
Well, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, you need something to come out of the mouth.
So I just needed to find that common ground with her to get the performance I needed. And that's
good.
Like, I had to tell her white lie, but hey, it worked.
Whatever
maybe
it takes.
Not the toughest shoot, but it was definitely the toughest preparation and the toughest start to a shoot that I've ever had, other than screaming kids and shitting animals and
kids, mate. Yes, it's always that way. Because I think in one of my shoots, mate, it's when they walk in the door. I don't want to be here. Someone's made me do it, and there's all this negativity before, and you can smell it in the room. You can feel it, and it's like, okay, if I don't get something out of this person, and like I've always go to the family, you've got kids, tell me about your kids. I try and get them opening up somehow. But if you've got to resort to whatever it takes to get the job done.
That's our job. We are professionals. So
spot on.
We cannot not deliver. And
yeah.
whatever it is to get it, you just got to do it. And I think that's the beauty of yourself, you and me and a few others. We are paid to solve a problem, and how you get there is irrelevant. You just have to deliver the goods.
I feel like, because I know this is something that I've always just prided myself on, is exactly what you said. We've just got to solve a problem, and there actually is there's no secondary. This is what we've got to get done. So it's like, okay, we've got all these speed bumps. How do we make that happen? And then, the only time I find I get a little bit upset with things is when people are trying to speed bump all those. If you're not helping, you're hindering. So fuck off. Do you know what I mean? So because time is money, we got to move. So if it's not trying to help the situation to find a solution, then it's not going to work. Yeah,
I agree.
No, that's awesome.
We are expensive. Here, I'm going to sit back.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah,
I feel like I need to get the zone. Here we go.
I'll just keep an eye out behind you, mate. If anyone's sneaking up on you, you've got your stick just in case. Good, you're good.
Just make sure there's no magpies around.
Yeah. All right, mate. Question number 3. What was your favourite cartoon growing up as a kid? These are all putting on the spot.
Inspector Gadget.
Classic. Yeah, with Penny and Brains. Run home from school at 4 o'clock to watch Inspector Gadget.
Right.
Never forget the Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
great choice, mate. I like it. Question 4: when you're flying on an airplane, are you a window seat kind of guy or an aisle kind of guy?
Window for international, aisle for domestic.
Oh, please explain.
Well, international, you need a bit of sleep, right? And sleep like this is near impossible. So as long as you've got a wall and something to break the neck on, you're good.
Yep.
And it's interesting to look at different landscapes out there every now and then. Aisle, it's quick in, out. I just want to stretch my legs, and I want to be up and out of that chair real fast. Yeah.
So, mate, I'm 6'4". They don't build planes for me. I go to the toilet and I don't know what's happening.
I wonder that. How does a big person do you kind of stand on the seat and squat, or do you kind of angle? If you need to do a number 2, what's the plan there?
Yeah, it's not easy, mate. You try and stand up, you try and be manly about the whole thing, but your head's kind of back in the fuselage, so you really can't see what's going on down below. So you just hope you're hitting the bowl.
The spray and pray, baby, spray and pray.
Yeah, and sometimes you walk out, it looks like a bloody war zone, but you just do what you can to, get it done. And then you go back to a seat, and the guy in front of you has put his chair down, and you're basically giving birth to that person because your legs are just sort of split. And you can almost use your knees as sort of armrests to put his legs, to put his arms. So not easy, mate. I feel
sorry for you.
A lot of people do, mate. Next question, mate. Last one. What's been one of the most rewarding shoots you've been on to date?
Rewarding? is different.
And you just sat on the couch and said
shoot.
to yourself, "Yeah, nailed it." You know what? I think we can. I think we can wrap both up there, mate. With the one you just explained before, that sounds like it's hard, but you got through it. It's rewarding. Unless there's another one that you've got in the pipeline that you just literally sat back, thought, if I had a cigar right now, I'd be smoking it. Or maybe you do that. I don't know.
No, I don't. But there's two shoots other than just the one I did in America now that were probably rewarding in a rewarding sense. One was rewarding financially and creatively, and that was an image that it was a personal image that I created with or for Movember of some gangsters fighting.
I've seen it. Yeah,
excellent.
Very emotive.
Every member in that photo was a creative director or a colleague or a peer, and not strategically chosen, but I really wanted them in it to showcase my level of photography, my quality of direction, and my post-production skills. Because prior to that, they'd never really worked with me. They knew of me. They've done little bits in there, but they never really tested my full skill set. And so this was a chance to show them that. And from that moment, creating that image, I was into most agencies. I was talked about. I was the flavor of the month. And that just ran for years. So I had really good run out of that. And that was probably one of my best photo shoots / marketing strategies that I've ever done.
Yeah. Because many doors open because of it as well.
Many doors open. And it was good because you know what it's like. Yes, we do amazing work for clients, but you don't often get to really stretch yourself. You never really get to show every skill set. This is really struggling to stay in. Sorry. This was just one of those. Now, the other shoot that was very rewarding was rewarding personally, where it was a NAIDOC week shoot. We got to travel to the Cape and interview and sit on a beach with absolutely no one around for kilometers and kilometers and kilometers. It wasn't JT. It was an elder of the community. I don't know his name. And he basically took, other than academic learning from grade 1 to 12, everything about personality, self-development, friendship, purpose. He pretty much just laid it out in about 10 minutes in this interview. And it was basically just what life is all about. What's your purpose? And he had a great perspective on life, a simple life where we don't need big homes. We don't need fancy cars. What we have up here in the Cape or within the Indigenous community is we have an identity. We have community. And if I walk down the street, someone knows who I am. And if I need help, they will be there to help me. And that's all day, every day. If you walk down the street in the Brisbane city, Sydney, no one looks at you. No one's got your back. No one cares about you. In fact, they're going to do the opposite. They're going to climb over you. So he said, in the Indigenous community or in these smaller townships, you are somebody. In the big city, you are nobody. So you need to find your purpose. And to go another step further was you need to create an identity. So who are you? Who do you mean to other people? And he said so many other things that just really stuck with me and resonated with me. And it's like, wow, I could just sit with you for hours and hours and you could teach me all about life and how I need to grow and better myself as a person and also better myself for others and better those around me. And I just never had that, not even from my own parents. Maybe that was just their culture. Maybe that was his perspective and his opinion. So from that was a personal reward that I now carry through life just from that one interview.
Isn't that cool that you can jump back on the plane in your aisle seat from up top and have a total perspective shift on, and just broaden your horizons on actually, what are we doing here? What's this all about? But everything you just said there, it all rings true. It's like,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
really
the community and culture, and like, it's so true. It's so easy to get lost in everything that you're doing and just be part of the rat race and
Yeah.
doing everything. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? You know? And sometimes it does, you know, for you to go to the most remote places in the world and have someone with so much wisdom and knowledge just lay down an absolute, you know, gold nugget on your head and just say, yeah, this is, you know, that's profound stuff. And, you know, but you're obviously, you know, in the job that you do, you're learning a lot about yourself and other people that are teaching you how to become a better version of yourself. And how cool is that? You're getting paid for it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. And I think you just now, I now go to shoots. I now go through life, sometimes reflecting on that or remembering that and go, oh, hang on, Damo, come on, pull yourself back
yeah,
in. Life is good. Don't complain about your latte. Don't complain you didn't get more fries on your plate. Like, just
yep,
take it all into perspective and be grateful for
yeah,
what you've got. And
yeah,
they're so grateful. Like you said, we've got an abundance of food. We've got all the fish out there.
yeah,
We've got all the meat that way. In fact, we've got all the medicine we need in the bush if we need it. Like, we don't
yeah.
have to go to Big Pharma. We don't have to get these stupid expensive pills to fix it. We've got it available to us. In fact,
It's
you
all
do too.
there.
We've all got it.
Yeah, yep,
We
yeah,
just
yeah.
choose not to see it.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I would have loved to have been just a fly on the wall in that conversation because, yeah, that just sounds like, you know, yeah, you're yeah, as you said, like sometimes, you know, growing up, you're not privy to a lot of these sort of situations. But it's also when you start hanging out with certain types of people, you start learning more about yourself. But everything you just talked about there rings true, I feel, with your identity and learning about yourself. And, you know, and if you don't have that, then that's go searching for it. Go find something that, you know,
absolutely
defines
be
you
someone.
and who you are. Yeah. Now, mate, I wanted to get into a bit of a chat with, now I've done a little bit of stalking on you and just come across some things, but how did you get into the photography businesses? And is it true that you started photography from winning a KFC tournament or something?
Yeah.
Is that true?
It was kind of,
what happened there?
two things. But yeah, effectively, I worked at KFC
Yeah.
and there was this competition to win the chance to go down to Bathurst with a race team. And I entered all my family members, and my sister won it, and she's like not into racing.
Not into
So
V8,
she said, well, you go. And so, yeah, it was transferable. So I managed to go down with the Price Attack V8 racing team to Bathurst and spend a week, which was super cool. And I didn't have a camera. However, I was sort of playing around with disposable cameras. You might remember, but back in the day, you could buy disposable cameras from the chemist and then take photos
was
and
it
then
Fuji?
take them back to the chemist. It was
Kodak.
Yeah.
Kodak,
but underwater, because I was mad into surfing. So I used to just go and take photos of my mate surfing, and I loved it. And I thought, I could do this for a living, but it was too freaking expensive. So, and because I was buying these $22 underwater cameras from Kodak, 36 shots, and then spending the extra money to have them processed within 12 hours. So that was like $30 or something. And I was going poor and bankrupt.
You couldn't afford 6 nuggets with barbecue sauce and a zinger burger.
Well, I couldn't. I didn't need to pay for those because
okay, you were.
I was doing the closed shift at KFC, so I could get free food. So I could save money to buy cameras.
But not just a pretty face. You knew that to get the end shift, you get whatever's left. Yeah, I like it. I like it, Damo.
I was a good saver. I was a hard worker and I was a good saver. My parents gave me that. So obviously I won this trip, so I had to buy a camera. So I bought like a little Canon. I don't even know what model it was. Some EOS package
entry level.
And I took it down. Yeah, entry level.
Yep.
And I had an all access areas pass, which is pretty cool. And I just went with no real care for it, no real preemptive shots. I just went around and shot for fun and shot what I thought I liked. And interestingly, some photographers said, "Oh, show us your shots," and I showed them. And this was digital. Like it was, I think it was like super early digital. I not even sure what it was, but nevertheless, they're like, wow, that's really cool. He said, oh, well, have a look at some publishing companies or magazines, contact them. And the magazines went, hey, we'd love to buy these from you. And I'm like,
how good.
You could make money out of photography?
Yeah.
Stupid, nothing clicked. And I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. And then the girlfriend at the time said, well, why don't you go study it? So I did.
Yeah. So okay, so what did you study?
I did a 1-year preliminary course in Bayside, Alexandra Hills, I think it was.
Okay.
And then that was a kind of a prelim course to build up a folio to be accepted into Toowoomba.
Okay.
And then that was the creme de la creme. Like that was the course in all of the country. Closely followed by RMIT at that time.
Okay.
Because of the equipment and the lecturers. So I got accepted and studied there for 2 years and went on my merry way.
Mate, what's your, because I get people ringing me, youngsters asking, should I go to university to study film? And look, everyone's different. I get it. But when I went and studied film, I've now got a $30,000 HEX debt and a piece of paper to show for it, and not a lot of and obviously things are changing, and we're going to get it into AI in a little bit. But I basically give the advice of just pick up a camera and start shooting, and just as you said, just go out and have fun with it, because then no rules, no boundaries. Get out there and get creative, see what works, fail, then learn from that failure and make it better the next time. Look. And do you see a place for university these days with especially what you're doing?
Not as a visual artist, no, I don't.
Yeah. So what advice do you give youngsters that are, you're either putting on as assistants or that are calling you to say, what do I need to do? What do you say to those guys and girls?
Same advice you give: just pick up a camera and start shooting. Throw yourself in the trenches, but more simple than that is go and do work experience with a photographer that you admire.
Yeah.
Go and learn. They're coming in for me.
They know they can't get you from.
It's not. We're safe. It's not the police.
If I see a rope come down from the sky, mate, I'll give you just a hand wave. All right. They're coming.
I'm trying to do a Zoom here.
It'll go live, mate. It's like there's some guy with a beanie in the middle of the park talking to himself.
No, that's just normal in Logan. I'm sure there's a guy over there doing the same. Go meet your favorite photographer.
Yep.
Offer them to buy them like coffee or lunch and say, all right, I want to learn everything about it. Offer your time. Go do work experience. If they pay you, great, but highly unlikely. And just learn from the ground up, everything from camera to lighting to client interaction to business, and just quiz them. Just get real world experience on the ground in front of a real client on a real shoot that's actually happening.
Yeah, that's excellent advice, mate. 100% agree with that. That's just
say yes to everything.
Yep, spot on. Yep. Now, mate, one of the big things I wanted to talk to you about today, because I know that I've seen a couple of posts of yours come up about AI and where it's going and what it's going to do to the industry. Where do you see AI, in the business space, and how do you see it impacting, the stills and video space?
Yeah. But look, I can't talk too much on the business side of it. I don't personally use any AI for business other than ChatGPT, a little bit just like Google. It's almost a Google replacement for me. And I don't use it to run my business. There's nothing AI in the back end. I'm a little bit old school. However, on the creative front, that's a whole nother debate. It's a whole nother journey. I've kind of kept quiet on it lately, but I do have my strong opinions. And I was very vocal about it many years ago, as trying to pretty much just warn people, because I was right into it. I was in the thick of it. And I was trying to understand it and see how I could benefit from it, how I could adapt to it, and how I could use it in my current workflow to improve my photography, to replace some of my photography, or to create elements. So it's kind of an early adopter in that respect. And so I was very vocal about it because I'd seen the shift and the change in both as a threat, but how advanced the tech was growing and how quickly it was growing. And it got to a point where I felt the need to be vocal to warn people and say, hey, if you don't adapt now, if you don't start learning now, you're dead. And it will take your job, and it will. I was on a workshop today actually with a pretty big client. Well, I like to. They're a newish client, but they're a big business Australia-wide. And I'm doing a workshop with them on how to use AI to expedite their process photographically. And what we did with, I think it was 5 button presses, other than opening the link, they were able to change the lighting, change the scenery, the backgrounds, the mood of their products within 5 button presses in 10 seconds.
So because of the like I've noticed with your photography, like, you know, I had a look at your website today. Your photography is so good, you could almost mistake it for being AI. And I know a lot of top photographers that are just so good at what they do that the integration between AI, like the crossover, like if you're really shit at photography, it's like, oh, that's bad. If you're really good, it can be hard to pick sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And that's where I find
head, Shea. It is AI is replacing the better, more surreal, fantasized, high-end advertising because it's not linked to reality. It's an idea that can be surreal. It can be an idea as creative as you want. It's that work that is disappearing really, 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 really quickly.
Yes.
And it is the lower end work that's also disappearing, which is the stock imagery. It's the general shot of a coffee cup or fries or a burger. That too is disappearing really quick. What isn't disappearing is the real life events, the real life capture.
For sure.
It could be the wedding photographers, the domestic mum and dad portrait photographers, the documentary makers. It's the true life, genuine storytellers of a business behind the scenes. That won't disappear. However, there will be
a shift.
Probably, if we're creating video content for these companies, there might be a good portion of that video content that is AI generated, which is your B-roll stuff, like the trees rustling around, a leaf falling, the snapping of a stick, the water bubbles underwater. Like a lot of that I can just generate. I don't need to get an underwater housing and shove it under and get the perfect bubbles. I can just generate that real quick. I don't need to go out with the blower vac and make those leaves moves. I can just punch that in and get that B-roll. So I feel there is a huge advantage in AI that will help us be more creative, help us pad out video content and create faster content. But that higher end and that lower end is gone. And it is going. And soon it will be gone. There is no mistake. And I've warned people about that, and they all said, oh, no, AI can't do fingers. It's never going to happen. They won't be able to do video. I'm like, haha. Yes, they will be able to. And you literally see it in 6 months. They will be able to correct fingers. And there's still some finger issues, but so what? There's issues everywhere. But if you just, if you're good at the AI, if you're good at the prompting, if you're good at the software back end, you can overcome that really quick. And to the naysayers that said it will never do video, man, if you've seen the Google video, holy shit.
What's that one? Is this VO? So ChatGPT's Sora. Is this the Google?
No, it's Google's VEO. VEO. It is.
So is it their version of Sora? Is it?
Yeah, but way, way better.
What's it called?
VO, VEO.
VO. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It is. It's the best of the best of AI video out there. And it is completely believable. It is unmistakable, and and it's high quality. And you can use it now.
Yeah, wow.
Other marketing collateral, and you wouldn't know. The others like Kling, Sora, Runway. Yeah, there's some indiscrepancies. They've got a bit of that polished look, and the way the mechanics of a person works is
it's still a bit clunky though, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of morphs. Where VO, you can't tell.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to check out VO. I don't know how I don't know that one, but you see, I've been ChatGPTing, so I've Sora, and you know, and just looking at that. But I've seen how clunky it is, but I'm also seeing how quickly it learns. And what I wasn't doing 6 months ago, it's now doing. And so my mindset's shifting. But I think it's also that shift in mindset is to not be scared of it. It's coming, whether you like it or not, but it's embrace it. How can you add it to your workflow 100%. To still create high quality products for your clients? And I think it's just having that. If you're in the defensive going, this is shit scary, I don't know where to start with AI, you're going to be in trouble. But I think there's disruption is everywhere, and this thing is huge. It's massive. It's coming, and if you're passionate about either video or photography, you've got to get on board with this stuff and start learning. Because you will get left behind. So I'm glad you've been a good advocate. You've been a great advocate for it actually, and just warning people up, because I've seen your posts come up, and it's just like, okay, I saw something about Sora. This is changing everything. So it's just you're a good trumpet, mate, to let everyone know, because there's a lot of people out there, and especially I'm 46 these days. I'm not too sure where you are, mate, but
exactly the same, mate.
46. Yeah, there you go. High five. But like, in some ways, I'm a bit more solid in who I am as a person. But if I'm 21. I don't know if I'm 21. Maybe I just got to come straight into the AI spectrum of things and just
maybe
stuff Sony, stuff Canon. I'm just going to go straight to the AI. But it's just, I think it is just being aware that your mindset around it, and don't be fearful of it. Learn about it and embrace it. I think so. Yeah,
100%.
But
there's also something. Sorry to cut you off. There was a good DP director, and you would know him, Mark Toyer, who unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago. He gave me two really good pieces of advice. Well, one, this is totally off topic. He said, Damo, you'll know when you've made it when people in your local town will stop giving you work. I'm like, okay. I don't know how to take that, but it's true. And that's become very true. A lot of my work is now interstate and international. And it's strange. I think that's maybe just tall poppy syndrome. But he said he said, Damo, despite what tech comes into the world, don't sell the tech. Sell your creativeness, sell your creativity. If you start pushing tech, they'll just go out and learn from it and do that. So sell what you can do and how you can use it to enhance what you do. And I thought that's really important. So there were times where I was selling the tech. I was warning people. I'm like, this is so good. Get on it. And that's probably why I've pulled back of late, because now I'm just secretly implementing AI into my work, and no one knows. And what they're saying is like, oh, Damo, you're such a purist. It's good to see you're still pushing on with true art. You're a true artist. They don't need to know some bits of AI. And that's what we need to do. And that's where it just becomes now a tool. It's not a replacement. You've got to use it as a tool. And that percentage of, is it pure camera work? Is it AI? Well, that's just going to swing around. And it's up to you, your discretion to use what's best. But again, just provide what's the best outcome for the client. You can cut corners using AI. If I can create bubbles in 10 seconds, or I'm going to go spend 3 hours, well, the client doesn't care how they get it, as long as they get it efficiently and affordably. And that's our job, is to provide that solution as quickly as we can.
I remember the day, mate, when I was thinking about B-roll. It's like, if I want to capture someone, bungee jumping off a bridge, Now we can do that shoot and we can set up all cameras, around the place. Or I can just tell AI, create a bungee jump scenario and be very descriptive about what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then press the enter button. And then I've got my B-roll for someone bungee jumping off a cliff. And I thought, well, I just remember it's when that moment happens, like, holy shit, this is changing everything. And it is sort of, I think we're going to have more of those moments where it's holy crap, okay, there's it's now rotoscoping or it's orbital or, even, I don't know, mate, just even we're talking about, I think wedding photographers and videographers are very safe, but what's the chances of Google doing a 3D mapping of that area and the person within the area getting married? And can they do a full, I don't know, is that coming? So you never know.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That'll be around. Yeah.
So it's, we'll definitely be having another conversation 5-10 years from now about, what's coming around. But, mate, mate, and just on another fact, mate, I love the way that you direct and the way that you're so energetic about it. It'd be very hard. I know we all have our bad, our moments that we just would rather forget. But where do you get that energy from, mate? Because you can be on set for sometimes 12, 14 hours a day. I've never seen you not happy. You're always freaking happy. You've always got good energy. Whatever you're posting, you're always putting out. And that's another reason I wanted to get you on, mate, because I want people to go check out your website and what you do. But you're always putting out good stuff, and I want those type of people on the podcast because I just love the energy that you exude. And where did that come from, mate? That you just,
Well, I guess I'm lucky. I'm born with good energy, whether it's good or bad. That's debatable. My partner will detest to that. But I think going back to my earlier point about getting performance and being a professional on camera in this very moment, I need to be on. I need to provide the energy, and I need to turn up. I need to perform. I need to give you something that you're happy with. And I think a lot of people forget that they are there to provide a solution and that you were hired for a reason. So you must turn up and give 110%. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. When I close that lid, I'll zone out. I'll chill out. I'm not going to have the energy and the excitement, but I feel like
to turn it on.
There's this innateness of when I'm on, and I'm going to give you everything I can because that's being a professional. That's doing my job. And my job is to do what I love and do it well, no matter what it is. So I think that's a character trait, and I think that's a respect for my clients. It's a respect for my craft. Yeah. And it's not being too egotistical or arrogant and no, it's not disrespecting it, but I just want to do good the whole time. Yeah. And I think many people take things for granted. Yeah. And in our industry, and maybe this is why too, our industry, we're not given a plethora of clients. It is tough. You are always swimming upstream. If it's not the oversaturation of creatives, if it's the lack of budgets, if it's not tech, we've always got hurdles to overcome and jump through, right? So the only way to get through that clutter and beat your competitors is to constantly turn up and deliver 110%. So I'm always making sure that I'm being the best I can. And I think no matter how good or bad your photography is, you'll get hired mostly for who you are, not what you produce. And I think a lot of people
that's a
don't
great point,
value
mate.
their client. They don't understand that there is 5 other guys behind you lining up ready to take your client for you. So you better turn up and give them something that they cannot get from the other guys behind you. And whether that's better food, a better experience, good music, it's a whole package, guys. And that's they don't understand. Like, it's not just the photography. How much better is a photo when there's good catering, good music, good laughter, high fives, and just a great experience. That
the
photo
energy in the
just
room
looks better. It just does. And it's like
oh,
when you go to
mate.
a wedding, like if you go to a wedding, there's not great alcohol. It doesn't have to be wet or dry, but not enough food. You go, well, that was shit. You never
mate,
think about how beautiful the bride was. You go, well, it's an experience, right? And then your gut often just, it has a brain. And if your gut's not happy, the rest of it's not happy. And I know I'm going off tangent here, but it's
no. I love this tangent because I don't talk to too many people about this, but you're spot on, mate. In saying,
people always ask me, why are you always busier than everyone else? Why are you the busiest in town? You always seem to be busy. And right now, like literally right now, there are guys quitting photography, going out of photography, going to Bunnings. People that I know, very close, very competent photographers, better than I am, going back to trades that did carpentry and electrician. They've got no work on, Shea. Like I'm talking no work for weeks or 6 weeks.
Wow.
And they ask me, why are you so busy? And it's because I'm more of a business person than I am a creative person. And I value my clients. I get back to my clients within minutes or as fast as human. Not you. So I put you off, but I feel like I can because you're not a client. But if you're a client, I would never postpone this. But it's very different. So apologies. But
no,
I treat my clients like God because I know how hard it is to get them,
keep them,
and how hard it is to keep them. So I value them. And I will work all through the night. I will answer their emails at 11 o'clock at night. I'll do it on the weekends. And I say yes to everything because I never know when a small shitty, hey, can you take a photo of this twig for scientific reasons? And it's like, it's a shit job. But this marketing manager that's commissioned me to do this might move on and go to some large corporation, international corporation, and go, he just turned up and he just treated it like it was the best project and he looked after me, he looked after that and this, and I'm going to take him with me.
Yep. What you're talking about before, have you ever been to a restaurant on closing time and you know that the people cooking your food are very disgruntled because they want to get the hell out of there? And you realise in that moment you shouldn't eat there because the person cooking your meal is not happy that you're the last person through the door. And so the meal that you get is shit. Right. And to me, that reigns with what you're saying about, rocking up on set, being, exerting this energy. Your photos are better. Like everyone talks about cooking with love. Why is food better when love's involved? And it's because you're focused on, you're passionate about it. You get into it, and a lot of people have a red wine or something while they're cooking, but they're doing things and they're excited about it. And it does, go across many platforms, including photography. Like you're spot on, mate. The still is so much better when you feel the love in the room, when you feel the excitement, when you feel the anticipation. And if there is something toxic in the room, that can suck the life out of the room too. So you need to be very, very careful of that because that will then it'll show in the photography or the videography. So I've never talked about, like I've always considered that, mate, because to me, it is. It's a mindset, but then it's also an extension of what happens through your body and how you make people feel when you walk into a room, or that. And you've got it in spades, mate. There's no two ways about it. But I think that's just something that you've got that is on every set that you work with. And I see, mate, I'm watching you behind the scenes and stuff as well. I'm looking at the assistants. They're all happy. They're all having a great time, and it's just that workplace seems like a great fun place to hang out, learn something and get paid, So, yeah.
It's very true.
Mate, how do you deal?
But that's
no, because but I 100% agree. You can get a really shit photo by having rocking up, going, fuck it, I want to do this. Yeah. You're not going to get great stuff and especially you're the professional, So I think that's a great lesson to all people out there in the industry. You know, if you don't feel like it, but you got to do it anyway, shift that mindset. Jump in some fucking cold water, whatever it takes to
have a Red Bull, have 3 coffees, do whatever it is you need to do, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Mate, I know you got to go, but
no, it's all good.
How do you deal with pressure? Because I imagine you thrive on pressure. Have you ever gone for a piss, right? And you know that there's 30 people waiting outside that toilet that aren't going to do anything until you come out and you're on. So it's like nothing happens until Damo comes back. Do you thrive on that pressure of knowing that there's 1,000 eyes on you and you're it and you've got to produce and you may have to improvise and it's like, okay, that didn't work. How do we make this work in this moment? And is that something I feel that you thrive off that kind of pressure? Would that be right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do like pressure and I do well in pressure because I'm a very lateral thinker. I have the ability to, I like to feel like I workshop it in my head. I try multiple angles. I try a different approach. Or if I'm struggling with it, I will delegate all simultaneously. So an outcome could be happening even if I'm struggling to get it myself. I know that I've planted seeds elsewhere that the outcome is secure. So I know by having a good team, good assistant, armed with a camera, getting another angle, keeping a client distracted by a coffee or a food run. I've got these little things that are creating a safety net that I know under pressure, I'm still going to get that outcome because I've kind of got a plan B,
to me,
plan C, plan D.
That's a two-prong attack. Like you've obviously got structure there to be confident in the people around you. But that you've also got the ability to pivot if you need to and know that there's always a solution. And so the mindset doesn't allow for, because that's just wasted space in your head. If it's like, oh, woe is me, I'm not going to get this, you know, I just can't imagine that ever going through your head. But I think for the young photographers and videographers coming up, it's like, okay, you got to buckle up, man. You know, you're in the driver's seat, you know, you're under the pump. Great. Like you're in a position of privilege.
Yeah, you are.
So
and don't
enjoy
get me
it.
wrong. Like I'll go back to the gear van and throw gear and this and fucking that and that's not working or this, and that happens. But I'll never do it in front of a client ever. I'll do it in front of myself and my team. But I'll never do it in front of a client. As soon as I go back on set, there I am happy. Everything's good. Everything's smooth. But you're like. The best analogy is you're a duck on water, right? So you're like madly paddling underneath and scrambling and trying to get there quick. But on the water, on the surface, you're just smooth and you look calm because that's all the client cares about. And that's what they see. So you just got to be a duck on water. Yeah.
Mate, I absolutely love the way you work and the proof's in the pudding with all the work that you've put out there. Go check out if people want to go check out your work, mate. Where do they go?
I don't upload my work anymore. It's bad. Well, my Instagram, which is Damien Bredberg _ stills and motion, I think.
Okay.
That's Instagram. You'll find it. I'm the only Damien Bredberg around.
I don't even know why I asked that question. Just fucking Google Damien Bredberg. You'll see some cool shit. He's got plenty of But
unfortunately,
mate,
I just haven't updated my folio in years. Like, I might put the odd one up, but oh man, there's so much stuff that I just need to put up, which is really cool, but I just haven't. I feel like two things. I'm sorry to digress again.
No, go for it.
I've been too busy to do it, and I'm kind of like, fucking good on me. But then at the same time, I'm not getting the leads or the inquiries that I know I could be because I'm not posting. So there's this ego of mine that's kind of stick it to you because I don't need to advertise. But then I'm like, well, fuck you, Domo. You're not getting the work you want because you're not advertising. So it's like, what do you do?
Actually, mate, before we just wrap it up, I think that's another important point for every creative. Like, most creatives aren't great business-wise, Right. So it sounds like you've learned the art of business as well as integrating creativity with that. And that, I think that goes across the board with a lot of creatives is like, you know, and they'll sell themselves short. Right. And I'm seeing a lot of that is like, oh, yeah, $20 an hour. I was like, what the, like, come on, man, you're worth 200, $300 an hour. Like, you know, charge what you're worth. And that actually in its entirety brings down the whole industry. So people start, you know, thinking that, you know, we can do a shoot for $200 or, you know, $1,000 or something, you know, really cheap. How did you navigate that, mate, to have a business brain as well as a creative brain?
I was lucky enough that when I volunteered my time and worked for 12 months carrying a bag for a wedding photographer, I learnt business through him.
Nice.
And I worked completely unpaid every single weekend, carrying a heavy bag at weddings and then working my way up. But at the same time, sitting beside him wherever I could in client meetings, phone calls, post-production, inquiries, all of those business things, learning the ins and outs of business, and also learn a lot what not to do. And that's also what's really, really important. Sometimes the greatest lesson is on the fault of others. And you're like, oh, shit, that doesn't look good. Please, I never want to do that in my business. And I've seen that a lot across other photographers. But so I was very lucky and fortunate that I put myself into that situation to learn business.
Yes.
And I've always stuck by it because I know my worth and I know where I want to be. But I always use, it's a very loose, crappy analogy, but I kind of use the analogy. It's like women who buy shoes. In fact, most of our clients are women, right? They're marketing roles. A lot of the decision makers are women. And so they're emotional and they're very clever like that. And so think like a woman. When a woman goes to Spend Less Shoes or Kmart and buys a pair of $30 high heels, they expect them to break. They expect them to wear a couple of times. And then they expect to replace them very, very soon. And they don't tell their friends because it's embarrassing. They don't say they've got these shoes from Kmart. You know what they do? Well, they work, they cover their feet, they tick the boxes, and they're not walking barefoot. But on the other hand, they go buy a pair of Louis Vuittons at $2,500.
Yes.
It's the same thing. It's a red high heel shoe. It stops them from wearing bare feet. It covers their toes. It's the exact same thing. However, because they've spent $2,500, they tell all their friends about it.
Yes. Yeah.
They look after it. They put them in bags. They put them on the top shelf, and they only use it every now and then. It becomes a status thing.
Yes.
So the more they've spent for the exact same product that probably comes out of, well, they might come from Italy, so what? But there are shoes that come from China for $20 and $200. It's the same product, same manufacturer, same design. The more you spend on it, the more it becomes status, the more you respect it, the more you appreciate it, the more you think it's better. When in actual fact, it's the same shit.
It's the same. Yeah. It's
So
just
it's
a different
no
thought process on
with
it.
service. Yeah. The more, I'm not going to say the more you charge, there's always a ceiling or there's an industry acceptance. The more respect you'll get from your clients. And I've seen it time and time and time again. And I've even been there myself where I've charged little because I've seen the potential worth in a client. I hope I'll get in cheap and early and hopefully win them over time. It never works. It just never works. You're just never respected from the start. You're better off winning less work, working less, and making the same amount.
I think that goes across all industries because, like, I'm working in the building industry, and you know, a lot of it's a race to the bottom. Everyone's competing on price. It just doesn't work. You know, it doesn't even come close. Mate, you've dropped some absolute bombs today, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to learn an absolute lot, and especially if you are in the videography, photography space. There's so many good tips there from someone who's doing it. He's out there. I wouldn't have it, mate. It's like I don't hang out with a 300-pound PT, and I don't hang out with a hairdresser who's got a bad haircut. You are out there doing it, mate, and you're on the front line, and your work is just phenomenal, mate. So I really appreciate your time today. And you're always, mate, if you're ever up the Sunshine Coastway, there's always there's an ice bath to my right here that's at a nice sort of 5 degrees. There's an electronic drum kit this side if ever you want to play some drums. And then there's a barrel sauna at the back that's got your name on if you ever need to decompress after a big sesh up on the sunny coast, mate. Yeah.
Definitely the music, definitely the sauna. The ice bath you can keep. I tell you what, because we just had those cyclonic winds a week ago, and my pool was just covered leaves. And I put my wetsuit on. I put some goggles on, ready to go in and clean it. I went down the steps. I submerged myself to like my shins. I just stood there, tried to accept it, and then I went down deeper. And then I'm like, no, I can't do this. So I hopped out. And then just the pain went to my bones. And I'm like, oh, this is awful. And then I literally said to myself, don't be a girl. Suck it up. Get in there. So I went down to the bottom step.
Yeah.
As soon as it touched
Is this
my
in a
balls,
full steamer? You're in a steamer?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I'm like, as soon as it got to my balls, I'm like, fuck this. I'm out of here. And I thought of you because I'm like, there is no way I'm getting in an ice bath. If I can't get into my pool wearing a wetsuit,
I love it. I love it, mate. Well, look, if you ever do come up, I'll give you some tricks of the trade to get that out of your head, and so you just jump in and get it done. Because, mate, it used to be my kryptonite. Like I was the string bean at school. That was literally like I used to cry when I went to swimming classes and like with mum, and I didn't want to get out of the car because I was chilled to the bone, and I was like, ugh. But then I started looking at the cold waters. Like, well, hang on, it's not gonna like. How can I overcome it? And I think if you actually start saying, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold. Well, it can't be warm. So it's overcoming this to combat it because it. Yeah, no, mate, you're always welcome.
Well, and I say yes to everything, so let's do it. Let's do it.
Mate, really appreciate your time today, and I haven't seen any ropes behind you come from the sky or anyone with daggers, so you survived, mate. Thanks for all the dropping bombs, mate, or everything that you've said today is and it's not just for photographers and videographers. Everything you've just talked about today will help anyone in their business or just even your relationship, personal life. Like it's all intertwined in so many ways, so... mate, really appreciate your time, and we'll ice baths up you, mate, anytime you want.
And thanks for having me, Shea, and keep in touch.
Thanks, mate.
And hey, lines are always open. If anyone's got questions or thoughts and they want to run something by me, line is open. I'm here to give back, and that's what I really, really stand for these days.
I appreciate that, mate, because you do that very well, and awesome. It's all about value with you, and that's what, mate. I wouldn't have had you on the podcast otherwise. It's just it's 10 out of 10, 110%. Energy's great. Yeah, it's all kindness, love, and just value, mate. So thank you so much, mate. Appreciate it.